Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Today, let's talk about a very interesting element of speaking and listening that I call the conversational cycle. This is a technique that I picked up listening to a podcast called The Art of Charm, and let's look into it. In short, a conversational cycle emphasizes three repeating aspects that make a conversation: a question, listening to an answer, and then providing some kind of statement for connection. Let's examine each one individually, starting with questions. And I think that rather than me explain everything, I think that AJ from the Art of Charm can help us talk about the conversational cycle. So, why are questions so useful and important in conversation?
And the power of the question is that it automatically allows the other person to talk about themselves, which, as we know, is everyone's favorite topic. So now, by using a question, we're not searching for what to say next. We're giving the other person an opportunity to share with us and listen to their answer. That's the important part.
It's true. A lot of psychological research has shown that people's favorite topic of conversation is themselves, and they're even willing to forego rewards or to take quote unquote pay cuts in order to spend some time speaking about themselves. So, one of the best things that you can do in a conversation is to take your ego out and replace it with thoughtful questions and by listening. Listening is the second very key component of the cycle. And here is why.
We listen with our eyes and our ears. What I mean by that is, while I'm asking this question, I'm looking at the facial expressions and the emotion on the other person's face before I'm really thinking about the answer that they're giving me. And it's in reading the emotions that we can find emotional bids. These are moments of excitement or enthusiasm that the other person expresses in their answer. These emotional bids might be a raise in volume, right? Might be a big smile appears when they're excited to tell me where they're from or what they do. And it's cluing in on those emotions and allowing yourself to then share that emotion back with the person in the form of a statement.
So I find it very interesting that when we listen, it's about more than just tuning our ears into the words that we hear, but also really using our eyes to pay attention to the emotions and the inflection of the voice and trying to find emotional bids. What he means by an emotional bid is an indication that someone is very excited or interested in a particular topic. These are the kinds of topics that when you discover them while listening to somebody, it can make for very compelling and memorable conversations because not just about the words being exchanged, but about the emotional connection. So you're probably thinking, all right, Ian, cool. I should ask good questions and I should listen to people. This is super basic information. Yes, I agree. But the most compelling and interesting thing that I learned from this conversation cycle is the idea of following up your listening with a statement of connection. When I was raised, I used to always think that questions are the most important. You want to hear about the other person. You don't want to give away everything about yourself. You don't want to talk about yourself too much. However, AJ has a different take. Let's see what it is.
So most of us, we ask a question and then we're ready for the next follow-up question. But it's the statement that is the key to the conversation formula. So it's question plus their answer equals a statement. And it's in that statement that we now allow the other person to understand us too. So we're not just searching for topics, we're not just searching for answers, we're also sharing back. The most powerful statements we can make are we statements that allow us an opportunity to connect with the other person, not tell them just about ourselves. So we statements allow the other person we're talking to feel like they're our friend already. They're not a stranger. It's about us together.
This is why statements are so important in a conversation. It's not just about how much information you can get from the other person or how much emotional catharsis you can receive, but it's really about a connection. It's about sharing.